the real master killer. You know what I'm saying?
They're all named Patrick, and they all have a last name that starts with O or
Oh,
Mick.
yeah.
Do you know that in Irish culture, if you have a Mick before your last name, like a Nulty, like Mick Nulty or a Mick Con, it means at some point along the lines, two cousins got married.
My family's
and became Micks.
My family's McManaman.
No, I just made that up, but people believe it.
Yeah, you had me going.
No, this is a great. We should start. Are you rolling, Sean?
Yeah, he's been rolling.
Okay, so this is where we're starting because to introduce our guests. But first of all, it's HardLore Time.
Hello and welcome.
Hello, welcome, Bo. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
This is the first ever in-person full episode of HardLore with
HardLore,
prolific hardcore historian, legend, frontman, Colin Campbell, a.k.a. Colin of Arabia. Before we start, let me just say, you're about to go on a journey because I learned this weekend, this man is an unbelievable storyteller. There's twists and turns, Shyamalanian-esque results every time he brings back something from the beginning and the end, and you're in for a wild ride here. Colin, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for having me here on HardLore. This is the first time people had asked me to do stuff like this, like podcasts, and like, oh, come on and do this and blah, blah, blah. And like, for me, I'm always like, I listen to things and people are always pushing something.
Yeah.
And like, oh, well, I'm on to push this. Like, and like, I'm just like doing shows locally in my town that I live in. And like, I got this band that's whatever years old, like, and it's pushed. Like, I'm not trying to like sell something up. I'm just like, this is what it is, and
that's the beauty of the show is that we're here to push you as a guy.
Right.
well,
it's not.
Let's push the brand.
Many people know COA. Of course, you've been a thing since we were children.
Yep.
And many people know COA, the scary guy, the intense frontman. But I feel like really kind of only Boston, Brockton knows COA champion of DIY.
Okay.
And that's kind of like here, that's the real COA.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at the same time, you can't do DIY is actually like, we are doing this. I get a lot of props from a lot of people that I have to hand down, and I try to share the wealth on that as much as possible because, like people will be like, oh, thank you, Colin, and I'm like, oh, well, these are the dudes who helped me build the stage, or these are the things. And when we did Brockton originally, we were doing Roman shows, and they turned into the Tiger's Den shows. It's the same venue, but it changed names. It was a real group effort, and when I say real group, I mean 40 fucking people. Like, there's me and Chris booking the shows. I have a band. Like, Andy and Mike and Martin are in Cutthroat. The dudes from On Broken Wings are doing On Broken Wings, but they're also doing the straight edge band Shere Khan. JD from Shipwreck comes out of that band. So I'm missing somebody.
3 of us in Harm's Way were in a band that played the Tiger's Den twice, and you were one of the first people we met, period.
Oh, yeah?
And it was very much like, we come from Chicago. We're familiar with like the vibe of a community and like the vibe of like these dudes put a thing together. Like Shane does all the shows,
right?
And they're at the Knights of Columbus. Like we're very, very familiar with that. And I don't know if you remember, but we played a show on one of the last.
What band?
The first band was called Few and the Proud from Chicago.
Okay, yeah.
We played a guy's birthday party. I remember he was like maybe shipping. He was like joining the army.
RG. It was RG's birthday party.
There you go.
Or RG's leaving. Yeah,
he was leaving. Yeah, his like going away party, and we played. And it was the kind of thing we met him, and he kind of showed us around. He was like, that room over there is where you go if you got a problem with anybody. So.
Oh yeah, like,
and it was just
so like for real, like, fucking dumb shit happens, beef happens, or like this is so crazy because there's only so many women that are into dudes who are into this weird shit. So like dudes getting mix-ups over women and shit like that. But like, hey, like it's not gonna happen on the floor. It's not gonna be a fucking 2-on-1. You're a fucking tough guy. You're a fucking tough guy. We'll go in the room of doom.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what. And it was literally like just right over there. If you And
It's gonna be a couple older guys watch you guys duke it out, and then once you come out of the room, that's fucking it, man.
You got to go to McDonald's together after. Break bread.
Right, or you can still fucking hate each other, but like you're not getting fucking 17 people involved in this beef.
Oh, I got a great story. So for that show, for his going away show, we were running late.
How could you?
We were running late. We just were. I don't know if there was traffic or if it was us. You know me. I woke up at 12:30 today.
Yeah.
I sleep late. James can't pee in a moving vehicle. Can't do it.
I'm the same.
He had to piss. He put a blanket over his head, and we had to be quiet for 45 minutes because we couldn't be late. Like, we didn't want to piss anyone off. We're the out-of-town band. We're opening or whatever. We're like, we don't want to piss anyone off. We get there, no one's loaded in. It was fine. But I don't know if you remember this. A couple years later, Harm's Way, it was our first big tour, U.S. tour, and we played, I think, Clinton, Mass?
Okay, continue. I'm not sure.
I think so. And you just gave us, like, a fatherly, like, hey, be careful out there kind of talk.
Cool.
And it was exactly, and I don't expect you to remember, but it was this kind of like exactly what you were saying. Like we knew you, but it was this like, oh, this guy, he was just telling us like, you know, make sure if you get tired, like stop driving, like switch drivers. It was like that kind of a talk where it's just like, you knew it was our first tour and you were just giving us.
I was already older than a lot of people that are my contemporaries at that time when I'm like pushing the band, right? Guys are 22 to 24. Mm-hmm. I'm 26. So just that little bit of time is like...
I think I was 18 at the time.
But you
so we were young.
Yeah, of course.
We were young.
I mean, you're not a functioning human being until you're 22, basically.
Yeah,
So the difference between...
I'm fucking 42. We're working on it.
You're here. You got $60 gloves. That's
they were a Christmas gift for my sister, and they got like my initials on them, and I was like,
no,
yeah, they're
Here's the thing.
Hey, Giver gloves. If Giver gloves is watching, I lost my Giver gloves. I hope my sister doesn't watch this.
Christmas is coming.
I got them last
and
Christmas.
You're a friend of the show now.
A friend of the show.
So we'll be in touch.
Great.
Giver gloves.
So yeah, no, I had a lot of that stuff, and also. We had a great rapport with dudes in Western Mass and dudes in Connecticut. And part of that thing was we're going to Cleveland for Saturday. So let's at least get in the van and let's get out of town.
Get out there, yeah.
So like that way we can wake up and fucking go to Cleveland. We can wake up, we go to, Philly. We wake up, we go to Virginia, like wherever we're going, we're already 3 hours on the way, and I'm not waiting for, somebody. I don't know where one of my band members is because last night there was a show and like he's off doing fucking coke with some fucking other idiots I know, or this guy got a girl and he brought her home, and I have no idea where he is. Mm-hmm. This is also a time where like our first tour, I think one member of the band had a cell phone.
Wow.
Like MapQuest directions were.
Yeah, of course. We talk about
thing.
That.
And I'm like right on the end of that. Like I'm right, like the next step was...
GPS.
The next step was all of a sudden we have a bag with like 10 devices in it that all do one thing. Mm-hmm. There's like a tape recorder because we're making music in the van while we're going. So we're like taping music. We have GPS. We have an Atlas, like a little video camera, everything that an iPhone does, but there's like a bag with like fucking 17 things in it, a power strip and 45 chargers. But back to that, like bringing bands. Oh, if I fucking like your band, I'll just be like, oh, do you want to do the weekend? And the weekend is literally going to be like Connecticut, Brockton, and Maine.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. And Connecticut, we haven't played Connecticut in fucking so long. We're playing the 16th with Terror, and they're doing
crazy show.
They're doing Lowest of the Lows, and that's cool.
We were just talking about that. That's right.
Yeah, and they never do that song. My favorite Terror song is the one I don't know what it's called. He goes like, "Don't ask me why I'm so fucked up." Wow, wow, like that one. That's the one.
They never play Not This Time either. So.
They never play that. They also play they also don't play. What the fuck have we done?
Oh, yeah.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
That's a hit. What's the song with Furnace on it at the end? What's the name of that song? Is that song?
It might be.
I think it is.
They have so much material at this point that like,
And it's all good.
yeah,
It's fucked up.
I agree. It's definitely all good. There's some stuff that I'm like, this is.
One of the Underdogs is objectively, we say this all the time, that it's like not only some of the best hardcore songs ever written, it's some of the best hardcore songs that like will ever be written.
Yeah, I think that Terror on every record has a song that could possibly be the best hardcore.
They can play.
If they put
Yeah,
that, if they
yes.
put that fucking that greatest hits when that
Dude.
when Columbia
That's the
Columbia
Eagles,
House
baby.
puts it out and it's like that gray thing and they're all just like standing there like the Four Tops, it's gonna be like
Platinum.
yeah, triple platinum, triple
Diamond.
yeah, whatever.
Eagles' greatest hits.
But I was a little bit older than everybody, and like growing up around here, it was amazing to me to how many kids were into hardcore and didn't know to like, oh, put a blanket over that stuff.
Oh,
Lock the van.
exactly. This is the kind of things he was saying.
You left money at the merch table?
Yeah.
People to this day are getting MacBooks stolen out of their vans.
Dude, you know what, dude? You know what? Hey, straight up, I don't believe any of that shit.
Well,
I can attest.
Oh, because you're an idiot?
Yeah. Well,
the whole trailer.
The whole trailer got stolen
Where? In St. Louis?
in Las Vegas
Oh, Las Vegas.
in an extended lot that had a guard.
Guard set you up, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, 100%. When we were checking in, it was just like casino. The guy was like, "Where are you guys from?" "Oh, you're in a band." "You parked in the oversized lot?" "Yeah, okay."
100%.
Okay, but that's
And there's no cameras that face that lot.
But also in St. Louis, that place, Foo Bar, where everybody played.
That was brutal. I had a guitar stolen during the show.
Yeah. Dude, the hood dudes are just.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fucking shit van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna hawk that thing. But like people would be like that. I was always. It's weird to not be cool about money with other bands. Like we're all on fucking tour, and like, oh, there's $120. Well, we headlined, so like,
Yeah.
the dude gives me the $120, and then I fucking turn around, and everybody's like, like, all right.
It's you're a wrestling fan.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it is there's a lot of similar mentalities of like it's the boys, you're working together, you're traveling together.
You know what I found
you're
out about
doing a
wrestling,
thing.
though?
What's that?
In small market stuff, if I'm I hosted a couple things, and I would make the money requested and pay the money requested for the promotion to the promoter, but not to tell the guys how much the promoter made.
It never ends well.
But you know what I mean? I was like, that's weird.
Yeah, that doesn't. That
Right.
Just
doesn't
the whole culture of in any job of like don't talk about your
Don't talk about
salary.
your- yeah.
It's bullshit. That
Yeah,
that means there's some disparity.
It's,
somewhere.
I mean, it's literally like a corporate top to bottom
hack.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
We've been here for 3 days now.
Okay.
I feel like you've taken us under your wing a little bit.
A little bit. We had a good hang the other night.
We had a great hang. Hours. And I
Burned material.
big time.
Gallons.
Well, we got to get back into that first story you told us because that was unbelievable. But I described you after a day as a very generous conversationalist, and you said, "Brother, I hold court."
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about holding court.
I love working hard. I love drinking beers with the boys. I love laughing loud. You'll find me all the time in my fucking dirty ass jeans. I'll come to the show from work. It's not a fucking fashion show. Like I'll do this and like dust will come off me. And we'll just be like broing, and somebody will say something or somebody will remember something, and I'll tell a story. It's even better. Do you guys know who John Blake is?
Yeah.
All right. So when I was on the road, when I was going hard all the time, I was fucked up all the time. Like, you got some fucking, like at COA shows, it'd be like, I'd be on the mic, last thing I say is like, I will trade drugs for merch. So like, we'd just be fucked up the whole time. And John Blake was largely with me in Straight Edge. So I'll be fucking riffing, holding court, and John Blake will stop me. Nah, man, nah. This is how it really happened. I'm like, oh. Oh, because I got like pieces of the story.
Wow.
Yeah, but I love telling stories. My Uncle Donald passed away like last year or 2 years ago, and we called him Donnie the Storyteller, and I just learned how to do it from him. Yeah.
You're a pro.
We have a lot of similarities, and he was a Vietnam vet, and he was real fucked up from it, like a lifelong fucked upness, and I didn't know until after he died that he got in a gunfight. The guys that he was with died. They killed everybody but one other guy on the other side, and then Donnie run up on him with his gun with no ammo in it. He fucking...
This is in Nam?
This is in Nam. And then walked a Viet Cong soldier back to base, bluffing the whole way. And nobody knew this story until like we unlocked his safe, and there was like an accommodation for it.
Wow.
So he saw that kind of stuff, and I can't imagine that he didn't... he helped me a lot with my post-traumatic stress, but just by being like, we didn't really share stories, but, he helped me a lot. And like I said, that's where my storytelling comes from.
Do you, outside of like lyrics, do you write at all?
I do. That stuff is harder to put together.
Yeah, for sure. It's a different art form.
Yeah.
Sure.
And like, last time I was locked up, I started to like write like fucking tour stories, but let's write them in a screenplay thing, because anybody. This is an off-camera conversation, but how is there not a fucking show right now? Americans love music.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't have to be a hardcore band.
No, we talked about it.
I envision the band. You know who the band sounds like? It sounds and looks like a Veil from the 90s.
Oh.
Right. So it's like hard. They're hard dudes. They're rockers. But like they're also punk dudes. Of course. So I wrote a bunch of stories like that. Like the first time we played Chicago, we fucking break down on Friday. We're supposed to play the University the first night.
DePaul, that's right.
Yeah.
I was there.
And we break down on Friday, and we break down in South Bend on the highway.
Oh, Jesus.
So people were just coming in for the fucking thing, the game, right? And then I got AAA gold, so we're going to get towed. But it's like 200 miles to Chicago, so we got to get there and then call again and get towed.
Yeah.
There's only room for one in the tow truck. We can't have people legally in the back. I got to hide all the guys. All the guys are hiding in the back. Tow truck comes. The dude's got, what I remember is the dude had a lazy eye.
Oh, no.
And he's like full Indiana truck driver
South
personality.
Bend is where Christmas Story takes place.
Isn't it also isn't it also Notre Dame Touchdown Jesus?
I think
that's what I'm thinking.
No, South Bend it's on the way to Chicago for sure, but that's Notre Dame's further out, I think. I'm not a sports guy.
I thought we were like outside of Notre Dame, because the police came and they're like, "Oh, you gotta get out of here!" Like, it was going to be a busy fucking highway.
Oh, wow.
So then he dropped us in Gary, right off the fucking highway. There's a bunch of fucking trucks there. It's the fucking sketchiest place ever.
Michael Jackson.
And then,
yes, of course.
Yeah. Gary, Indiana was scary. And then again, towed again to DePaul. We got there, show was over.
Yeah.
And Righteous Jams had like left their gear set up so we could just like run in and play, and it just didn't work for time. And and then we took a bus. Our van shit the bed, and we took a bus all the way back to Boston.
I had no idea.
Damn.
Did you play the next day at
we played the next day at Fire. What was it?
Knights of Columbus.
Knights of Columbus.
So it was the Righteous Jams were so popular and like so over at the time.
Oh, I remember
that they booked. So like one show was like, oh, it's going to be too much for DePaul because it's just a classroom like the size of this room. They booked a second show at Knights of Columbus. It was like it's supposed to be Stand Accused, COA, Righteous Jams, and there was like another band. It was one of the. It was awesome. Yeah. It was great. And I remember. I think The Killer may have played Knights of Columbus.
I don't know. I've definitely been to a show where we played with The Killer.
Yeah, and they covered Slayer. And it
that was that one?
It was the scariest thing ever.
Lights off or something?
It was just like,
Oh, dude! Whenever I'm anywhere near a fucking light switch, and like my friends are on stage and I know the break is about, like the big break is coming, I'm the dude who 100% shuts off the. I 100% shut off the lights for fucking 10 seconds and then like flip them back on and see who's out there. Like,
That's a beautiful moment. COA the band. Were you COA the guy before the band?
No, and like, so it started like this. Chris' mission was going to do a record label, and we were going to do shows. Andy was doing. Andy from Cutthroat is one of my closest friends. Is a lifelong guy. Was doing this other band with Mike from COA and a couple other cats, and Chris decided he was going to start Rock Vegas Records with a comp. So all of our friends' bands from that time were on the comp, and he was like, get it? And he's a bit older than me, and he was like, get it to fucking together. Like, we're launching this, and if you don't get it to fucking together, like, he knew I was the guy before I knew I was the guy.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And he was like, get it to fucking together. And then we were joking about names and all this stuff, and the joke was like, well, Bruce Springsteen has a band named after him. And, like, I got a lot of pulls, so I'll just put my name in the band.
Yeah.
And then we were like, Colin what? And it was me and Mike played bass, and this other guy played guitar, and we just had a couple songs, and we were just farting around with it. And it was like, how do we associate it with, like, how do we associate the band with like jihad? Like, how do we make it seem like what's scary to regular Americans?
Sure. Post 9/11.
Yeah, and we're like fucking Arabs. Sick. Yeah. And I'd done some time there or whatnot, so it kind of fit, and we just went with it. And me and Mike wrote a handful of songs with this other guy, Goonie. Goonie wrote the fast part, a 50 Bag of Hate, and he was in another band, and they didn't like that he was writing with us, and there was kind of some local beef or whatever. I'm friends with all those dudes. We grew up together. It's all, it was fucking dumb kid beef.
Of course.
Stuff. And Ed Whitmarsh from Back of the Neck is like one of my favorite people.
Back of the Neck. Yeah. Fight everyone.
Yeah.
Very inspirational for me.
It's not. And so Chris was like, yeah, you got to do it. And so we put it together, and then we had a show scheduled. Our first show was supposed to be in Stoughton at the club that, like, we were doing everyone was doing local shows at. And it was supposed to be like Embrace Today, Integrity on the To Die For tour, and then us and I forget who was the middle band. Like, we were going to open, and that didn't happen. And then we somehow wrangled Integrity playing at the Chopping Block, which is probably half the size of this room, and maybe 70 people in there, jammed in there.
Wow.
Sounds great.
It's fucking crazy. And a funny thing was, a band was in town from Pennsylvania. It's Cold Cuts Band.
Oh, okay.
CDC?
And no, but it was the band before CDC or something. And like, dude, I'm Colin. I'm not playing first. You're playing first. And then we used their gear. And we were awful. It was, first band show type thing.
But was that your first time singing in a band?
Our first, we fucked around in Brockton. I had like a little band, maybe not really. It was like,
but this felt very different. Obviously, it was like you are the name of the band.
And we're gonna take over the whole fucking world. Like, we're gonna play fast hardcore.
You're the guy.
We're gonna play U-tuned fast hardcore with one break, and the break is gonna be 4 measures long.
Yeah.
Because we don't want any like fucking second string mosh dudes getting in. Just like sick shit, and it's over.
Yeah.
And so what I'm describing to you is power violence.
Yeah.
But
of course.
And knowing about those bands and stuff, the other guys in my bands knew about the bands. Then Mike switched to guitar, Goonie left. This dude Matt joined the band. Nick joined the band, and they were in a grindcore band together. So those guys were locked in.
That works.
We made our first record. Again, budget-wise, it has to be a full length. So, I mean, I like a lot of those songs, and I feel for the person that was writing them. That should have been an EP. But budget-wise, we needed the money for Rock Vegas Records to. We need to charge $10 for this.
Yeah, you don't make money
to justify it.
on
Right,
7
because
inches.
everybody else is putting out a fucking EP.
Right.
Oh, CD EP, bro. We're fucking.
Okay.
We're not. Where's the CDs? Are a thing.
Yeah.
So then, we started doing Brockton, and we were doing Brockton, and every week it was COA's headlining, Black My Heart's headlining, Shere Khan's headlining, On Broken Wings, Cutthroat, and once every 2 months we're going to do a pop punk show, and A Lost of Words is going to play. Because those dudes are our homeboys too.
Sure.
And they're going to like bring in people, and because it was every Friday for $10.
Wow.
Sometimes it would be so. At first, it was like us rotating the card. At that same time, somehow this place that we're sitting in shut off to hardcore.
Really?
At that same time, the Elks shut off to hardcore. So we became like the spot. Also, at the same time, Josh Hines is doing up north, right? Like he's doing 30 minutes. He's doing 50 minutes north. I'm doing 40 minutes south. And a band could come here and play my spot on Friday and drive an hour and 10 minutes and play to a completely different fucking crowd.
Dude, when you see that on the routing, you're like, yes.
It's an hour.
It's incredible.
It's amazing.
So that's like what it was. So me and him, again, like North Shore, South Shore, kind of some beef. Like we squashed our beef, and like now we're a duo. And then we started doing shows too in Nashua and with Johnny Hardcore. So like all of a sudden we're booking 2 shows, and we got fucking the dudes in Western Mass. Okay, we're getting the whole fucking weekend.
Yeah.
But
there's a reason why our the first tours I ever went on never played Boston. They played Brockton.
Yeah, of course.
It was that time period.
Yeah,
It
it's
makes
that time period.
perfect sense.
I know that.
But it also allowed us to shout out to McDonald's Coke.
Swig at McDonald's.
Real quick.
My favorite junk food is a Scottish restaurant, and they have the best Coca-Cola.
McDonald's. The McDonald's specifically across the street from the Middle East. One of the
Dude, it could have its own fucking show.
Amen.
Dude, you go up there at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, it is live.
Oh,
We've
I've
eaten
got-
there every night and will later tonight.
Yeah, we'll
It's
be there
live
tonight.
and fucking loud, bro.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. It is. Where am I? We did that record, and then after we did that record, we were immediately better musically and together, and we put out again an EP, but Chris didn't want us to put it on EP or something, or didn't want to put it out on the label, and we just like self-released it. And that was Slave Driver, Kiss Me Goodbye, and it was Behind This Tongue by Infest. Now, I'm not trying to like be like, ooh. I'm trying to be like, a lot of people did not know who Infest fucking was.
Yeah.
Sure.
And people thought that was our song.
Oh, interesting.
So like, I just let it go. Like, I'm not correcting this.
Yeah, no.
But funny story is, years and years later, Infest finally played Boston, and I met Matt Domino, who fucking cool guy, and I was like, oh hey, I'm in a band, we covered Behind This Tongue, you're a fucking big influence on me. And he was just like, oh dude, I know. Like that dude knows every little bit of like, if somebody's covering Infest or doing something Infest,
He's on
his eyes are on it.
Wow.
We covered Mindless Mutant and the first song
He knows.
on the LP. Yeah, we covered
He's seen you
a ton.
He's seen the Running Man.
Yeah.
He knows what you're doing.
Love Infest.
Yeah, the Running Man. We'll get to that, huh?
Yeah. If we must.
You ready for this?
What's that?
So I said you share the new tracks with him.
Not yet.
playing them.
Yeah, I was playing them in the lobby.
So one of the new tracks that we did is 15 seconds long. It's called Doom Scroll, and it's designed to fit in the fucking story because the only way.
Oh wow!
Because the only
How
way.
have you never thought of that?
He beats
Wow.
me, he beats me in everything.
Wow.
That's why I have
The superior
capital C, bro.
Capital
Yeah,
C.
you're right.
I gotta address that.
So like one of the new songs, and at first we were like, long song titles are not very are cool, but like they're like pretentious or whatever. Like, how do I sum up like brevity in an attention economy? And then somebody said doom scrolling to me, and I was like, yes, because I'm
Wow.
on my phone fucking constantly. I'm a victim of. I'm a purveyor and a victim of it. Like I'm just like, oh yeah.
How can you not be though?
Yeah,
Like,
it's-
think about in the fucking old motherfuckers give us shit. This young generation's on their phone. Imagine in the 50s, you had a little supercomputer with every piece of information ever on it. Would they not have been
And
doing the
mindless
same thing?
entertainment.
Yeah, and can
Not
do,
only
I can do
information,
anything.
entertainment.
Yeah.
And whatever view you have, there's 5 links to back up what you did.
Amen.
Very
And,
true.
So it's like addictive because yeah, I'm right. I'm fucking right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, feels great.
And you can look at 5 real looking websites to say
Yeah.
that you are right. So people are
Doom scroll.
but doom scroll.
A song made for the algorithm.
What am I?
No, that's
what am I left to do?
That's amazing.
It's and the music.
We're doing 3 or 4 songs. We haven't decided if it's going to be 3 or 4. There's another song we're really working. We're finishing right now called "Tired of Shit." And my friend owns a tire shop, so I want to like do a collaboration with him. We're like tired of
Tire.
shit. Yeah, shout out to Woody Steyer. Shout out to Woody. Woody is the fucking man. A lot of dudes that are fucking really cool and work for Woody. He gives everybody a chance. He's the fucking man.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, when I got out of jail, I ended up going up and living with Woody. He helped me get money together. Woody and his wife Jenny are fucking awesome. I fucking love their kids. And like, shout out to Woody Steyer. So I want to do a collab with Woody because like, so it's called Tired of Ship. I don't know if it's gonna be ready. It's got a weird time signature. It's kind of hard. Yeah. So.
Algorithm. Doom scroll.
Kids and the attention economy. Like, what are you doing putting out fucking 12 songs?
Yeah. It's pointless. 8, 9.
And
No, why? What you can't put out? Fuck that.
But I just like an album. That's that's for me. That's not so much for them. It's
Is that
like
us being old guys now, though?
I guess, but I would rather love.
I'm going as hard on song number 4 as I am on song number 1.
Sure,
And
absolutely.
the song number 1 or the hit that's like number 5 in the middle
Sure.
of the record gets all the plays. So like, why wouldn't I take what I do in 3 years of work and separate it into several releases for the internet?
You're right, and that's where music is going. With look,
There's no monetary.
It's all
There's no
singles.
monetary value attached.
Of course,
Spotify destroyed the concept of an album.
but not to me.
Well, we can,
I'm with you.
we can also
agree.
take that. Like, people are fucking freaking out over ticket prices now. Like, I mean,
Where are you going to make money?
What are you gonna do?
it's the only place a band can.
That's it.
There's no publishing rights or royalty rates, and
It's merch and the door. Merch
Yeah.
and ticket sales.
yeah, ticket sales.
And then the venues want the merch too.
Yeah, venues want piece of merch.
But there's like an uprising happening
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
Hundreds of signatures and venues sign.
Who knew? Pearl Jam in 1994.
Dude, we were just talking
We were
about
just
that
talking about
last
Pearl Jam
night.
Do
was
you
right.
know how did? Okay, so I'm. Full disclosure, I've used military benefits to go back to school. I'm in English too, so I just did a paper about it because it's like in the news and stuff. And like, they tried to do a tour without using Ticketmaster venues, and it was fucking a disaster.
Wow.
Like they were playing some weird fairgrounds,
Yeah,
like
right.
all kinds of shit. And then they went to Congress saying that like, this is a monopoly. You need to do something about it. And it was largely taken as like a puff piece, like grunge rockers go to Washington.
Yeah, right.
And now look at Taylor Swift.
We were just talking about Taylor Swift. is
Waging
now,
war.
She hired a team to like look into Live Nation Ticketmaster.
Dude, Taylor Swift is the Walmart of music.
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't mean it's good, but it's good.
Yeah, okay.
Hey,
I understand now.
There's a McDonald's in most Walmarts. You know what I'm saying? Sweet working man, bro.
That's a- But
Sweet nectar of the gods.
Exactly.
it is
This is the nectar of the American gods.
100.
very much true.
Neil Gaiman fucking should have put that right in there.
It is, Yeah, it's something that we talk about that I don't think people realize how deep, like the Spotify, the Live Nation, the Ticketmaster, even the StubHub, because it's called dynamic pricing.
Yeah, it's
the scale is always moving.
It's the same platform as a flight or a hotel.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
That's
It basically means that if you're looking at the price, it's always the best time to buy it because it's only going to ever change and you have no way of predicting it.
Delete your cookies before you're buying flights. And
Does that
hotels,
help? Does a VPN help?
A VPN helps because,
I'm so old that I don't even know what they're talking
dude,
about.
if they see, so if you just clear your history, everything, if they see that you've already looked at flights, they know that you didn't buy it, but you still want it. So every time you look at it again with that same information stored in your browser, it's going to cost
Priceline would do that to me.
Priceline would. Shatner
Bill
is out for your
Shatner's doing
blood,
that to me.
dude.
Son of a bitch.
Shatner hates you. Specifically.
Wait, do you have a William Shatner story? Because if you do, I want to hear it.
He's the Priceline
He's the
guy.
Priceline guy.
I mean, I know, but like
Nothing specific. He just
we talked about. You asked like
I would assume he would hate.
we talked about. I said the other day on Thursday night. I said like, who do you do? You know, like everybody that does some sort of performance in 2022 does somebody who's come before them.
You can't be an original actor.
this might be, hopefully with your blessing, a segment on this.
Yeah. Oh, please.
Because it is such a
a real thing.
as soon as it was explained to me, I immediately was like, James Hetfield. Like immediately in my brain,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I do that.
So are we doing this now?
I think we
Yeah, well,
should.
I was just going to say who I did, and then
I would love to
tell, like
know
a little
yours.
William
Yes.
Shatner thing. Like, so I do Choke from Slapshot. That's also like one of my. That's my first hardcore show is seeing Slapshot. And
Have they aged well for you? Even like the good, like the classic shit. Do you still hold them in such a regard?
Dude, Slapshot has only gotten cooler. Slapshot had a beef with older Boston dudes. I came of age and kind of helped put it away. Like, hey, this is my favorite band, and like, you don't get to do that. Like, don't do that to them anymore. Like, all respect to older dudes and stuff. Like, I love my team and I love my crew, but I was like, hey, you know, let's not do that. And everybody that's younger agreed. And then right after that happened, one of my closest personal friends, Ryan Packer, joined the fucking band. Oh. So like one of my fucking best friends joined fucking Slapshot. It's fucking sick. And then I kind of got to know Craig Silverman just after that. And I had a little talks here and there with Choke with like this or that. And but then I got to know him too. Like he's the only older dude that I've met that I'm like not let down by. Not
There's
like
very few out there.
That's,
you know, and
that's
like,
amazing.
And now in my tenure, like now what I'm trying to do is be like that.
Can I tell you something? You're one of them for me.
Oh, well, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Of course.
I mean, I've seen you at shows that I know you didn't play or that other people booked or whatever.
No, dude, I just enjoy hardcore.
For all, yeah, exactly. You know, so that I agree. And my favorite, like when I was getting into, like after the Minor Threat period where you're like discovering hardcore is like when I was young, I immediately was drawn to Boston hardcore because I'm straight edge and I have been since I was young. And then
Sorry about that.
Well, but it's also got the hardness to it of a city that like Chicago didn't have that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's got this like children of immigrants mentality where it's like we're not really fucking like we're not into this, we're not into that, but we're into like punk rock and we want to do the shit ourselves and blah blah blah. I was so drawn to SSD and DYS and Last Rites.
Yeah, you were
like,
that before you were a Master Killer guy.
Oh,
Sure.
big time because it went from that into like the Youth Crew shit.
See, I was like a Master Killer guy almost right away.
It switched for me.
Preaching to the choir, bro.
You guys really are
Born
like the
Master
same
Killer
guy.
up my ass day one.
So I do Choke and for Slapshot, and I do fucking Rollins, right? Rollins band first. Like I discovered Rollins band through Liar, through MTV,
Dude,
like long before I discovered what Black Flag was.
Good video. Very good video.
Yeah,
great
and
video.
then like Lollapalooza '94, like he was on that. Like
I mean,
I'm still probably a Rollins band guy.
What's that?
I'm still probably a Rollins band guy first.
I'm not a Black Flag guy.
Oh, I'm a big Black Flag guy, and I'm especially Rollins Black Flag.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
before that, they're a punk band. And he like made them hardcore band.
Yeah.
That guy might beat you up. It's like
They just took the
and he was like
the
in shape
DOA
and looked sick.
Yeah, they took
Yeah,
the DOA singer and fucking put him behind the Black Flag platform. It's fucking amazing.
so he's like really close to William Shatner, I guess. I went to,
Wrong?
Really?
Yeah, I went to-
first
I went to-
full circle.
See?
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, always
I went to
comes
see I went to see him talk a couple months ago, and because I always go see him talk because
I respect the hell out of that guy.
yeah,
I really do.
and I love that he calls whenever he does work. He's like, I'm doing the work, and I want to work, and it's just like going out and talking or doing this movie or anything like that.
Have you read? I'm sure you've read Get in the Band,
Oh yeah,
dude. Or even the audiobook.
The audio is better.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Does he just go into other tidbits?
Yeah, a little bit here and there, but like it is. I've said this before. It's one of the things that I'll put on when my baby ass is on tour, and I'm like, I don't want to fucking load. I'll put that on and be like, yeah, I lived in a shed behind Pettibone's house,
and it was the best place that anyone in the band lived.
Wow.
and I just kind of like, okay, I'm all right.
But hey,
I'm good.
Back to getting into it. I am the son of the baby of a 2-parent household. My brother and sister were raised in the projects, and my parents got out. We bought a house, and I was raised in that house. I'm much younger than my brother and sister, and so I was given a ton of leeway. They went through with my brother and sister. They're just like, but there was no extra money in my house. You don't answer the phone when they're around dinner because that's a bill collector. Bill collectors are always calling and stuff like that. But I never knew. My parents wanted to eat steak. We're going to eat steak, right? Like that's just fucking how it is. And then the lights get shut off, and they pay the fucking bill. Like, why am I paying the bill? The lights not shut off, and that's just how my parents operated. But there was never really extra money. I got a job at a catering place in the back room washing dishes and like loading trucks. So there was the kitchen, but then there was this whole other thing, and there was a bunch of fucking losers there, and like a dude with a fucking eagle tattoo, and he was like fucking cool, and then these other fucking nerds, like, and I thought like these guys were the fucking coolest, and one of them like played in a band, and the manager was in a band, and one of the guys wore a shirt that said Stickmen on it all the time. It says Purveyors of Power Groove. And I was like, what the fuck is that? That sounds cool. It sounds like something I want to be into.
I like any band that purveys something.
Yeah, right. This is also the summer of the College Rock Station in Boston sponsors Green Day at the Hat Shell.
Oh shit.
Now, the Hat Shell is right over there. It's on the Charles, and it's where the orchestra plays on the 4th of July.
Nice.
Right?
Oh, okay.
It's like a big open field, and they expected 10,000 people, and 110,000 people showed up. It's the summer of fucking Longview.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the summer
They
of
were on a rocket.
Rocket. Yeah.
The Offspring and Sublime Date Rape is on college radio.
Yeah.
Like, and that's on constantly. So what I remember is Memorial Day, I worked there, and I bought a moped.
Fuck yeah.
Right? And in 1994, if you have a moped, it's not like now. Okay, dudes ride mopeds and they have a lot of pride in it and shit.
No,
Popping wheelies on the thing.
It's like,
Yeah, we saw that. Yeah.
you know, I would ride my moped to and from work, making money, and then I'd be able to ride it to Newbury Comics. Well, that's later, I guess. Memorial Day weekend, they have like a feast somewhere, and we got to unload the trucks on Memorial Day. So I go in for a full day. This is a money day for me. Usually I work after school. I work 3 to 6.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I see.
So I'm like going in. It's a fucking money day. I'm going to work a full day. I'm going to make $100.
Yeah.
I wash off this clamshell, and I'm like, where's this going? And I like, take it up to the prop closet. So I'm fucking, it was heavy. It must have been fucking 50 pounds. You know what I mean? I at the time, probably was 130 or 40 pounds. And 6 foot. Like, you know, so I take it up into the prop closet. Now, the prop closet, there's no organization. It's just like shit goes up there. And I fucking take this thing out. And I get it onto a shelf, and there's a box, and I hit the box next to it, right? And 2 records fall off that box. And I'm like,
Dude, this is like the Goonies.
my God.
You're blowing
It
my
is,
mind
yeah.
right now.
and I fucking lean over and I pick them up. And one is a clear sleeve, and it's just a black record, has a red label, and on one side it has a cross with a no sign on it, a bad religion symbol.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
On the other side, it has a cross, a no sign, and a swastika. And I already know this is cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, fucking Nazis are fucking awful. Well, I don't know what this is, but... And then the other one is white cardboard, and it opens up. And all the lyrics are on the inside, and the cover is a drawing of some guy like this. And he's got an X carved on one hand, and it says OC Hardcore. It's uniform choice. Yeah. And I'll never forget on the back, I love having two dudes do backups on our records because it's tight. If you have two guys do it over and over and over, it's tight. And on the back it says backups by the heavy duty crew of two. And I took those records home and I put them on my parents' record player, and I listened to them at 45, and I thought they were too fast, so I slowed them down. I was like, this has got to be right. Like, kids can't be this fast.
Yeah.
So I don't know who ever owned those records, but I still own them. And I stole every record out of that box over the next 2 or 3 months. Sure. So
that box was your old head.
That box was my old head, and it was like
Goonies. They knock over the map and find
Cryptopsy. I mean, not Cryptopsy. I'm not Cryptopsy. Cryptic Slaughter was like a record that I loved that was in there.
Cryptopsy?
Yeah, I like Cryptopsy too. Yeah, but I didn't.
That's some Master Killer shit.
I didn't get into that until like '97, and I got into it through like a pop punk band actually.
Wow.
There's a band from here called 12 Cent, and the drummer of that band, because he's in like a fucking punk band, he's like, they got the best drummer, Cryptopsy, and he was like, and pop punk showed. I mean, that band 12 Cent showed us all how to tour. They in the 1996 bought a fucking van and took it on the road and fucked off, and doing it via payphone.
So, Choke, Rollins, Rollins band, Rollins, huge Rollins, massive.
Yeah, fucking Jack Rollins. Because I was into sports.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, James, from my band, doesn't fuck with Black Flag, but loves Rollins because he lifts, he's into sports, he respects that.
Is he a cop?
No.
He looks like a cop.
He's a teacher.
He looks like a cop every time. Be like, that dude's a cop.
He's
100%. Yeah, every time he posts on the internet, I'll post right underneath like, you're a cop.
Yeah, but he's just like us for real.
And I know he's not a cop,
he's
but
sampling soda.
It's just like
he is a huge McDonald's Coke head for sure.
McDonald's Coke head.
What?
I can go any kind of way with Coke.
Who do you?
You started with Hetfield.
I did. Should I finish?
So let's finish. Who do you do?
Hatfield, and probably not anymore because I can't anymore. These knees. But Porcell, probably. I was a Youth Crew guy. I really liked.
No.
Youth of Today was fucking awesome.
Those records are fucking awesome.
They're great. Probably Hatfield.
Because Choke didn't like them. I didn't. I was racist against Youth Today.
I'm very torn.
I was racist against Youth Today for a very long time because of Choke.
Do you know that where there's like an interview where Choke was like, "Yeah, these guys are like talking about making."
No, dude. On Sudden Death Overtime.
Oh, is that what?
There's a phone call on Sudden Death Overtime with like somebody leaving a message on the machine, and the song is called "Something to Prove." It's like, oh, you got something to prove?
Whoa,
wow.
You think you got the baddest scene? Well, I'll tell you where the baddest from. Got something to prove. It's like that.
In the interview, Choke is literally like, yeah, they're talking about making friends and like they want to be friends. Like that's not why we're here. I'm not here to make friends. It's not positive music.
Right.
I'm very torn between the two camps. But so probably Porcell and Hatfield, I'm pretty happy with.
And you know, musically that makes sense because it's like
that's what I got.
It's all there, and that's what you got.
With your crown came nothing.
Who do you do?
Depends on the instrument.
Okay,
I'll say
that's true.
Great, yeah.
Let's do singer. Drumming is
singer. You know, I'm spiritually I'm doing Pete Steele.
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
Trying a little shorter. And Jonah Jenkins.
Really? Yeah. Are you a fan? Okay, so a guy who I think is better than Jonah Jenkins, Cast Iron Hike. I think I think the band is also better than
superior for all around.
All around superior.
Wow.
And I never saw Witness. But the time frame of them breaking up.
That's surprising to me.
I saw his next band, Milltown.
Milltown.
Yeah.
Dude, they could have had it all, huh?
At that point, like,
I've heard
everyone today is going to a place to make money from music. Mm-hmm. In the 1990s, making money from music was called selling out.
Right.
And it was a very difficult line for a lot of bands to... Dude, listen to fucking Seaweed Spanaway and tell me that record doesn't belong on the fucking radio. Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
Anything that anybody considers a sellout record.
Listen to Into Another Seamless and tell me that doesn't belong on the fucking radio. You know that's not even on Spotify because MCA or whatever just buried the fucking record because it didn't do well.
Yeah.
Really?
Like, that record is fucking insane. I have it on CD. I have a CD player
for that
to listen to basically that record.
Yeah. Wow. The sellout record generally in any band's discography is a lot of the time my favorite one.
Mine is generally the first because the band's
first or the sellout. I think it's like okay, here we are. This is what we do.
So you love the Black Album?
Shut up.
I mean, I do love the Black Album, but
I love
this guy.
We'll talk about Metallica for 1 second.
Absolutely,
he would love that.
Literally always.
Well, we're just going to do 1 second.
Okay. Please don't.
I would like everybody to realize that Metallica has been bad for twice as long as Metallica was good. And the new song that everyone is like, oh, it's pretty good, is just it's a solid turd in a bowl of diarrhea.
I'm with you.
And there's fucking 1,000 other metal bands. Actually, 2 played last night, Fuming Mouth and High Command. That High Command record is fucking makes me want to fucking worship the devil.
We're also just saying that Robert Trujillo has been in the band longer than any other bass player, which is pretty crazy.
When you do what Metallica did, obviously you don't need to keep writing good songs, and it's clear from their new music that like they don't really know what people like about them.
Yeah,
you know, they don't know what they like about themselves.
So, but I don't like Metallica, and I never really have because being a hardcore punk in the 90s, metalhead dudes are a totally different subculture, and we don't fucking vibe.
But then you like Cryptopsy.
Yeah, but
and Marauder,
it's different. And Marauder's a hardcore band.
Yeah, they're
undeniably a hardcore band, but with such a metal influence.
Yeah, but
that's an interesting.
You gotta think that divide is maybe why the
here's
record
the other thing is like I fucking started going to shows in 94, 95, 96, and Marauder was playing up here all the time. These motherfuckers are like sketchy Puerto Rican dudes, and Minus lived up here. The original singer lived up here, and he pumped gas in a town next to my town, and we would drive to that gas station to like
there he is,
just to like interact. No, he was like super cool, dude. Minus is like one of the coolest fucking.
Yeah, that's all I've heard.
Fucking props to that dude. Yep. He is a guy who,
I mean, he wrote the fucking song.
He showed me personally a way, and everybody's like, he's up here hiding out. Right, you know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. Yeah. So just had this lore about it. And, you know, like...
Were there metalhead dudes who would come to those Marauder shows? Despite being a hardcore show?
There definitely were, but they're just hardcore dudes with long hair.
Yeah. What was that, Century Media?
Century Media, and, like, you would think with everything else that was on Century Media at the time that Master Killer could have been this prolific record outside of hardcore, but it's like this it's this secret thing where we know it's the best music ever.
And Obituary knows.
And Obituary knows.
The other thing about Century Media is like that Marauder record came out at the same time as the first 44 Big Block record, Your Jesus.
Amen.
Which is fucking, that's my fucking shit.
Yes.
After
Born Human.
Yeah, no,
Good
dude,
God.
Repentance is the song.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and that's just on like a 7. That's the second record, Your Jesus.
Big fan.
But yeah, big fan of that because like, and personally, right, a dude's top tier when it comes to like being a fucking street tough, right? Like he's fucking psycho. He's a director now and all that shit. But back then, and when I'm starting my band. He does a band, and he's like one of the fucking hardest dudes, but he doesn't need to like put it out on music. He's singing about how he feels, and he's not like he's singing in his real voice. Like I'm like, wow,
and he got the pipes, man.
Like I wanted. That's what that's what I want to be doing. And that, but the only reason like that band, the band is great, but the only reason they're grouped into something is because of who that dude is. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's beat down or tough guy stuff, and like, it's not really.
It's not at
It's
all.
real
just like
stuff.
it's just like you might get beat up by him and his buddies for acting like a fucking fool. So that was a huge influence on me when I was starting the band. Like, I didn't need to pretend like I was something I was not. Like,
And authenticity is always the thing that
it's
works.
the only
was
thing.
just
It's
gonna
the
say-
fucking only thing.
the
I was
only
just going to
thing.
say authenticity is it's impossible to fake.
It's
You can't
possible
mimic
to
it.
fake, man.
So
It's like part of the.
you know, and I talked some shit on that last night, but you know, the reason some bands are hardcore bands are because of the dudes in them. You know,
And we talk about this all the time, that hardcore music is at this point, like, you can, Fiddlehead is playing this back to back with Mind Force. You know, it's not as much of like a genre of music as it is kind of a code of ethics among the
yeah,
people
I agree with
involved.
The DIY aspect, the mentality.
yeah. Oh, so way back to that, then, you know, we started doing the Elks. We killed it at the Elks. We worked with a couple other promoters. We were using the ICC Church, like, and all that went. And then that kind of went the way of the Dinosaur. And
Played there one time.
everything kind of broke up. And I took a real, I mean, then I went to jail for the first time. At 30 years old, I went to jail for the first time. My father died, and that caused me to fucking, when people lose their shit, other people, regular people lose their shit, they, I don't know what regular people do when they lose their shit, but when I lose my shit, it just compounds and compounds, and I'll let everything go, and let everything go, and let everything go, and then it'll end with a whimper where cuffs get slapped on me, and I'll go do fucking 6 months or 8 months or whatever. And that's happened a couple of times, but it happened at the tail end of that. I got out, had this new thing going on, and then I started working at a bar called President's Rock Club, and I did hardcore and punk shows there. We had like a free Thursday night where the owner couldn't believe, shout out to Davey Campbell, the owner wouldn't believe that I said, oh, I need Wednesday night, I need $100, I need the bands to drink off the Rollin' Rock tap and 2 pizzas. And he's like, you think you're going to fill it with that? Where are you going to make your money? And I was like, I want 10% of the till.
Oh.
So he was like, and then so I wanted Wednesday because Wednesday was like a shitty night. And he was like, how about Thursday? And I was like, fuck, yes. Yeah. So then I was doing like 3 local bands.
Perfect.
$30. Here's gas money.
Yeah.
You're going to drink off the Rollin' Rock tap all night, and here's food.
Yeah.
Fuck off. This is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's free, so people were coming.
Right.
And then I would just spin my records and do bad quality MP3 downloads between bands. And then,
92
finish the night,
kbps,
you know,
brother.
whatever. You know, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, and we did that, and I did that for like 5 years, and again that closed, and then I kind of took a break, and I don't know. Now we're doing the Gatekeeper thing, and that's pretty fun. And I'm numbering those shows because I should have fucking numbered the shows from the start, right?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if I fucking numbered the shows from
So
the fucking
awesome.
start.
I know.
We did a show every Friday in Brockton
And there's no way.
for like 4 years.
How can you go back and keep track now?
Yeah.
You know,
I don't even know the password to my photo bucket, bro.
we'll figure it out.
You know what? Me either. From that time period, I
Right.
haven't been able to recover that account.
I don't want to know the password.
Yeah,
to my
straight up.
photo
There's
book,
some
brother.
things. No,
I don't want to see your
nobody should
MySpace,
see.
guys.
Yeah, nothing in there.
At least I was an adult when that started. Like, I mean, there's
God.
definitely some shitty, cringeworthy 20-year-old stuff on there, but like, I can't imagine being a fucking teenager on the internet. Oof.
It was bad. It was a bad time.
I bet.
I
It was
didn't like
hard. It was a
Live
hard.
journal?
I see. I
Didn't do that.
I had a Zanga instead.
I don't know what that is.
See, you're better off, brother.
I went straight to MySpace though.
Yes.
That's true.
We just like did that stuff for a while there, and it was really cool. And it was within like city limits of the Red Line. The Red Line went right there, and we did Biohazard there.
Nice.
Have you guys ever heard Unnatural Acts? Do you know what that is?
What was that?
Unnatural Acts is like a punk rock band from Boston, like 70s, late 70s, early 80s, and the guy went on to be like one of the big wigs at Newbury Comics, which is the independent record store here. So I did that with Blowfly. You know who Blowfly is? Like a dirty rapper.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, we would do weird stuff there. We did Black Sheep there. We did Don't Wait Up. We did the gang vocal session for Don't Wait Up.
Oh.
For Bane there because they wanted so many people to come do backups.
Right.
And I wasn't on the inner circle with that band, right? We were buddies, and I was closer with Stu and Bob Mahoney. And
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Man, fucking that dude is cool.
Amazing guy.
You have no idea. Like,
I toured with him twice, and I loved him.
Dude. Yeah, fucking R.I.P. So he wasn't in the band actually at that point, but a bunch of people come to do backups, and I kind of set them up and closed the curtain to the bar and just sat at the end of the bar because I didn't want to like bogart their time. I didn't want to assume that I was going to be like doing guest backups on the fucking Bane record, but then fucking one of the dudes was like, "Oh, what are you doing? Come on!"
Yeah,
like, "Oh, this is fucking so cool."
Yeah.
So we did that. We did Obituary in front of Obituary played on the floor. There was no stage at President.
Really?
You know they love that
God,
too.
that's fucking.
Yeah, dude, it kind of goes down like they walked in, the drummer was mad there was no stage, and I was like, well, we can try to set your drums up on the stage. Oh, the stage is a 2x4.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, like that's exactly what it is. And I was like, we can try to get, we set them up in front and you play on the floor, and like it's more better. And the band was like iffy about it. And then my personal friend is in a band called All That Remains. His name is Jason Costa, and he is again one of the fucking coolest people ever, and he's the party guy in All That Remains.
Okay.
He knew that those guys were playing. He comes down. He's a regular at the bar. He just comes in the bar fucking hanging out all the fucking time. And I literally took a bottle of fucking Crown Royal and threw it at Jason and was just like, take care of this. He was like, yeah. And once Jason showed up and the whiskey started pouring, those dudes were just like, we're playing on the fucking floor. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. We did I Hate God there. Nice. We did a bunch of cool shit, but also like we did an America's Hardcore Fest there. It was cool. And we did one of my favorite shows is Turnstile there. We did Turnstile, Diamond Youth, Angel Dust, something else.
That was the show?
Yeah.
Easy show for them.
Eight
for
people.
Those guys. Huh?
Eight people, 3 bands.
So, but why I like this so much is Presidents was in an area where there was 10 bars.
Oh, wow.
So as the guy at Presidents, I'm going to go and walk around and see how the other bars are doing.
Of course.
Right? There's a fucking snowstorm. There's a fucking foot of snow on the fucking ground. We're fucking packed out. I got one of my homeboys going through the parking lot once an hour, dropping his blade, just just keep it so people can get the fuck out of the parking lot. It's a huge parking lot. So he's just like doing a loop once an hour.
That's a snowplow, a blade.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
California.
Sorry. So I'm
So he like
the sun, you know.
So he would come by and I just like go out with a fucking pint of beer. He'd like drive by real slow and be like,
what a setup.
Just like fucking drive through, do the plow a couple of times, and we're packed. And like other managers from other bars are like, what are you doing? What you do?
Yeah, how are you doing that? Yeah.
Well, I'm running shit.
You know, I'm doing live music. I'm doing live original music. Made me feel like hot shit to a bunch of guys who do like cover bands and DJs.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Can't escape. My dad.
Yeah, they got Iron Maidens playing on Saturday night. You know?
I would love to know. We often do like who's your big four of like your era, your area, and being such a music-rich city and state.
Your Mount Rushmore.
Just the Northeast. I would just love to know your like big four of Boston hardcore.
From the time I was doing it, or
all eras from
oh, dude, that's really hard.
FU's and Jerry's Kids, you know. All
dude, we did Jerry's Kids there.
That was
fucking
right?
sick, dude.
Yeah.
That's
at the bar.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And he smashed a microphone at the end, and normally I would get pissed about that, but I was just so excited about it that I was like, he did it! That's fucking cool!
Jerry's Kids.
Yeah. So yeah, that Jerry. Okay, so top 5 hardcore records of all time.
I'll take it.
Records.
Yeah, and this is clearly with bands,
right.
probably too. Blood for Blood, Spit My Last Breath.
Of course.
Like I like that one the best. I like their other stuff too. Nothing to take away from the more rock and roll years, but like as a fucking teenager that nobody liked, as a fucking geek in the town that I lived in, this was an escape for me, and I was full of the words that they were saying.
Yeah.
2, Slapshot 16 Valve Hate. It's so fast, and then the 4th song in or the 5th song is the title track, and it breaks into like this weird like da 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 boom ba ba boom ba ba boom. It's like a breakdown. It's just like this jammy part, and that's how 16 Valve Hate the song starts. And by that time on that record, I'm like.
To this day, I'm sure.
Yeah. Trouble, Nobody Laughs Anymore.
Oh, the Trouble.
Jerry's Kids, Is This My World? And background music.
Wow. Not what I would have guessed.
And then the next one is the 666 Friends, Family Forever, Death Before Dishonor.
Fuck yeah.
So those are the top 6 records.
Big DVD hits
Oh, I mean,
on the show
yeah,
here.
fuck, dude.
You told me yesterday another record you love.
Oh, are we talking about Hollow?
Humanity is the Devil.
Yeah. I mean, that's right up there.
I also love that.
Yeah.
It's not a full record. That's an EP.
Right.
It's very true. Very true.
Possibly a top EP. I don't know. That Guns Up EP, the first one. All there is. All this.
Mine, Breakdown Blacklisted is my favorite EP, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, one time I saw
raw deal demo.
Oh.
Dude, one time I saw Blacklist Breakdown play after Blood for Blood, and everyone left at the Rat, and it was like me and another dude fucking tearing it up.
Whooping
And it was
ass.
like, yeah, it was fucking.
Couple sick people.
It was, it was fucking sick. Couple of sick people out there.
Yeah, he's full of these.
Walking down the street with my
Big Mac.
Big Mac.
You ever seen the thing where somebody gives them a Big Mac when
Yeah,
they're
of
playing?
course.
the best part.
Speaking of that, and this is I've seen a video of the Boss Tones covering What's at Stake
Yep.
with Choke singing,
Okay.
and Dickie like knew all the words, knew like the rap part, and it's one of the coolest videos I've ever seen. Dickie Barrett.
Well, Dickie Barrett was, I don't know that dude personally. He's one of the only guys I don't know. I had like a bucket list shit when I got out of jail second time, and on it is sing What's at Stake with Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. And I knew enough dudes around them that I could it's an attainable thing. I could do this. Like they do like the hometown throwdown thing, but it's disappeared. The Boss Tones are over.
Devastating.
right, of course.
Devastating.
He's like a truther now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's why they broke up. Hey, the last Boss Tones record that came out, I fucking love. It's brand new. It's came out like 2 years ago. It's got songs about the pandemic. It's got a song about George Floyd on it, and the song about George Floyd, right? They have Ben just dancing, and it's different scenes, and they caught a ton of slack over it, how insensitive. And all I can fucking think is this is a band from the '90s with 3 black guys in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what Nate Albert does now? He's the guy who wrote the hits in that band. And he, I think he works at Capitol Records. He's like an A&R guy.
Oh, really?
I want to say he's responsible for the fucking Weekend or something like that.
Oh, wow.
I could see that.
Wow. What was it was Impact Unit?
Impact Unit, yeah, not
Was
a fan
that
of.
was that? But that was his band.
Yeah. But they had a 7-inch and
Just couldn't remember the name of the band.
My dad worked on Kimmel.
Yeah.
When Dickie was the guy.
He was big with Kimmel because of Loveline, which comes up all the time.
This is we want it. Loveline is the end game for this show, is to just be that.
Oh, okay. We'll just take calls from
Just
fucking,
take calls from guys.
incels.
Calls and
Take
videos
calls
from incels.
and then have our buddy call
And have our friends on.
Stop being a fucking pussy and talk to her.
Just talk to her.
See,
Just go.
that's
No, hey, I'm back in school, so there's a bunch of young guys, and he's like, well, I'm texting with this chick, and she didn't get back to me. I'm like, did you fucking call her?
Yeah.
And they're like, why would I do that? I'm like, fucking dummy.
What were you saying about your dad?
I guess Dickie kind of a unconfirmed Twitching Tongues guy. A little
Uh-oh.
bit. So that was big. That was big for me.
That's a big one.
As a Boss Tones kid.
That's cool.
Felt it was good.
Dude, those records are awesome. And
I've always been a fan of the Boston.
and very accessible. They used to do 5 nights downstairs at Christmas, the hometown throwdown, and every band that you would want to see is fucking on it.
Boss Tones, Bruisers, Blood for Blood, or something like that.
Well, no, I don't know if there was ever a Boston's Blood for Blood one, but downstairs
Could have been.
So the college radio station here was called FNX. The alternative, it wasn't a college radio station, but the independent radio station here, and they would do cheap date night here on Wednesdays, and it was $3.
Whoa.
So I definitely saw Rancid after Wolves. Right after Wolves came out, it was the last Bruisers opening show, last Bruisers Boston show. They played some Portsmouth shows after that, but before he joined the Dropkicks and the Toasters. And apparently the Toasters has played the Rat before and got in a hubbub with some of the skinheads, and they got beat up. And like I remember the guy from the Toasters like being like, Boston, you're a very forgivable city. But like I saw that, and then I found out after the fact that the Roots Radical single, the B-side to that is recorded. There used to be this place, Fort Apache, right there, which was like the place that people recorded in Boston, and they recorded it right up the street at Fort Apache.
Wow.
And it was like a little tangle back to Boston, you know.
Another great video that I've seen. This is loosely related, but it's Dropkick and Rancid singing "Take 'Em All" together, just covering Coxbar together.
Yeah, well, they did that whole. I think they've done like several back-to-back.
Yeah,
tours
like big ones.
Like they
And
played
it's
up the street from my house. It was a lot of cops and firemen and stuff. Like
It's a weird.
Rancid might possibly be my favorite band. Like,
Say.
like,
You're right.
yeah. I mean,
He says they're the number one.
I think, and
they're the Clash of my generation.
Yeah, I think, and
I can never go see the Clash, but I can go see Rancid.
I think it's the
And you'll be on the
record
guest
that
list,
It
you know?
converts.
I don't know about that. And if shout out to my wife for pointing this out. If you watch the Ruby Soho video, at minute number 1, second 38, he says retarded PETA. That's what he says. I don't know what he's trying to say, but he says retarded PETA.
And you're not approaching this offensively. This is an objective statement.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it. My wife pointed
audibly
it out.
heard.
Yeah. So retarded.
And it's like, how many times can?
I don't even know what a retarded PETA is,
Yeah.
but he says it.
But yeah, I think that record is, and it wasn't necessarily for me, but I just think objectively, like from an overall stance, that record was a record that got people from one area of music.
Oh, it's a gateway. I call those
total
The gateway.
That's the exact word I
The
used.
gateway record.
Gateway Records, yeah. Mighty Mighty Boston's definitely a gateway record. Around here, for my age group, a little band called Power Man 5000.
No shit.
Because it's like new metal, kind of. And in Boston, there's actually 3 rock radio stations. There's BCN, which is like, BCN started as a college-style station, and then it went into like mainstream platforming, you know. And then there was a radio station out of Worcester called WAAF, and BCN had Stern, and they had Opie and Anthony, and they had Opie and Anthony first before they were in New York. Opie and Anthony got fired from WAAF because they said that the mayor of Boston had died, and they went on this whole thing.
Like,
and
what's that guy's name? Fucking War of the Worlds guy.
Orson Welles.
They pulled
Right.
Orson Welles.
Yeah. So they like pulled a prank, and that's what ended up finally getting them canned. But they played heavier stuff, and they would play like Power Man 5000.
Honestly, that's good for me. As a young kid in Connecticut, it was like Power Man 5000 and Hatebreed were probably like the same thing to me.
Right. They might have
Sonically, it was like, this is the same shit. I like this.
Spider?
It's the homie Spider. Yeah.
The homie Spider.
You know who his brother is, right?
Yeah,
Robert Zombert, brother.
A spider zombie.
Yeah.
That's right.
Royal family, some would say.
A dead family.
Some would, yeah, exactly.
Reanimated.
Is he still alive? Is Spider still alive? I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just calling it
So one time in Kenmore Square, they shut down like Com Ave, and Power Man 5000 played in the middle. Somebody got fucking stabbed.
See?
No.
No, great. Like whatever.
Might as well have been
Like some
Hatebreed
lore
playing.
shit,
See,
man.
it's
Like,
the same thing.
I don't really remember. I wasn't involved in the staff. I was too young. That's probably just.
Yeah, he's very
some
much still around. I think he's got his ear to the ground.
And I mean, let's be clear, ahead of their time on the fucking new metal thing.
time.
Yeah,
Like,
big time. And like
Purveyors, some would
Worlds
say.
Collide is like even
Fucking hit, dude.
poetically
Yeah.
interesting because that's what it is, and they kind of it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
How far? Where's Kenmore Square?
Go over the bridge, take a right, and we go down like 2 miles, maybe. A mile.
It's in that last. It's in So Ends Our Night, and I've always wanted to go.
Yeah, we all go down Kenmore Square. All my friends
All
are
of our
hanging
friends are waiting there. Trouble's brewing whenever we're around.
there. Sure enough, a fight scene-
Coca-Cola, we don't drink no booze.
No way!
That's
Preaching.
the lyric.
That's church, brother.
You know what?
Yeah, come on.
Coca-Cola. Yeehaw.
We're well past the hour mark here, and if the show is called HardLore, this show wouldn't be nothing without that story you told me the other day, because that's just about the hardest lore I ever did.
Oh,
here.
okay.
If you don't mind sharing the
I know it's-
payoff
No,
to that story, 'cause
I'll
that's-
share it from the fucking the start of the whole deal. So, the most recent time I went to jail about 7 years ago, and it ended with me fighting some crackheads in the street. The paddy wagon rolls up. I get arrested. I took charges pretty much for a couple other guys that, are Boston hardcore dudes and stuff. Shut up! So I ended up going to jail. And I'm in jail. I'm in Norfolk County House of Correction because that violated, I was on probation for some dumb thing. Actually, like a post-traumatic stress disorder outbreak. Like it fucking, and they put me on probation this time and don't fuck up. And I fucked up like a year later. Colin goes to jail. I'm in jail. I get there. I'm up in the cell. It's like 4 men in a cell, and a guard comes to the door, and the guard is like, Campbell. And I'm like, oh, that's me. So he come down, and he's like, oh, go in the bubble. And the bubble is like a room where you would talk to a social worker or a doctor or a representative, your lawyer maybe. Like, it's the bubble is the go-between between the cell block and the rest of the jail. So I'm in the bubble. I go in the bubble, and there's a guy sitting 12 feet from me, and he's like wearing a white shirt. He's a lieutenant. Now, as I know, there's only like 4 or 5 lieutenants in the whole jail. There's a captain who runs the jail and a sheriff above him, but this is the guy who day-to-day runs the jail. And he says to me, he says, who are you? I'm Colin Campbell. And he says, I know you're Colin Campbell. Who are you? Now, in my mind, I think back to when Boston detectives were like following us around and trying to catch us doing stuff. And I immediately thought, where are my prints on something? Fuck. I am fucked. And he's like, who are you? And I'm like, inmate 46479. And he's like, motherfucker, I know you're inmate 46479, and I know you're Colin Campbell. Who the fuck are you in the street? And I'm still like,
this is it.
Fuck. Like, the FBI is like right out there.
Yeah,
fuck.
right.
Like, and I'm like, he's like, why have I got 25 fucking phone calls from fucking this guy? Ryan Packer knew I went to jail. He fucking told everybody in like that Dropkicks, Boston's, Street Dogs camp who have friends that are policemen started making fucking calls. Be like, get this fucking guy out. Like, this is the fucking man. So I was like, well, he's like, why am I getting calls from him? He started naming names and all this shit. He's like, why is Al Barr calling me? Why is fucking Ryan Packer calling me? Why is fucking Mike Coogan calling me? Fuck, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you? And I'm like, oh, dude, I'm the guy that those guys call when they can't call you. And he was like,
what an answer. And he was like, damn, that was sick.
He's like,
I'm going to remember that.
And he's like, all right, well, I was like, I just handle stuff for guys when they need help. Like, I help people. And I'm just here because, like, I ended up here sometimes. And he's like, all right, well, what do you need? And I had only been there a week, so I was like, fucking toothbrush, a cup, a bowl. My hair was fucking massive at the time. I was like, I need shampoo and conditioner. I need shower shoes. I'm like fucking wearing styrofoam. I'm standing on styrofoam plates in the shower. Like, and he's like, and I was like, and I'd like to get, a book or two. He's like, all right, go back up to your cell and get your dress on and get your ID. I do. He takes me down to the library. He locks me in the library. And then he locks me in the library. And then he goes and gets me a big bag of stuff. I go back with it. And then I'll tell the second part of that story in a second. Several times that guy was on duty and Packer would come to the jail, and instead of meeting Packer between the glass or whatever, like he would take me out and bring me down the library, and I'd be able to talk to Packer in the library like a regular person. Bring me some snacks and shit, and just like fucking chill with my boy. Like, it was fucking huge. And Ryan Packer enlisted Will Blackwood as my lawyer. Shout out to Will. Shout out to Will Blackwood.
Thank you, Will Blackwood.
And when Will would come visit me, he would go to Anna's Taqueria, and instead of getting tacos wrapped in silver foil, he would get them wrapped in paper and put them inside his suit and bring me fucking tacos. So,
friend of the show.
I'm in fucking jail, my band is scheduled to play, I believe it was a benefit show, at the hall that was my father's VFW, and all my friends' bands are playing and shit. So I call Mikey C and I'm like, "Yo, MC, we got to go on at 9. I'm gonna call in, talk to Scotty. I'll call Scotty, one of our other homeboys, and we'll get an 1/8-inch jack, put it into the red and white thing, and we'll sing. I'll be through the PA." And he's like, "Done." So I don't know if you met Matty Johnson last night, the kid in the blue jacket.
I'm not sure if
it's a small kid in a blue jacket. He's a wild man. He was my celly at the time, and he's into the same stuff, right? Like, he knew Mickey real well. He's like a graffiti dude, and like I don't know him, but like he knew enough that I was like, "Oh, this dude's legit." Yeah. And yada yada yada. He's like, we hang with like 2 or 3 other guys in jail, and they're all like, "Okay," and I'm like, "Oh, this is happening." So when you're in jail, you can do this thing. It's called sitting on the phone. So I make it to the phone at break first, and when I make it to the phone, it means I need to use the phone at 9 o'clock. So you come up, and I'm like, 9 o'clock, and they're like, "Cool," because everybody else sometimes needs to sit in the phone to call at their father's birthday, or this thing is happening with their friends, and they want to pass the phone around, and everybody wants to talk to you, and you want to talk to everybody because jail is humiliating and it's isolating, and everyone feels that way regardless of how else you feel while you're in there. Excuse me. It's isolating and humiliating.
So at like 7:45, your people are using the phone, but you're just letting them know.
I'm just letting them know, like, I'm on the phone. I'm sitting on the phone. I'm like,
for 9.
And you use the phone, and then you get off the phone, you come up, you want to use the phone. I'm like, "Hey, I'm sitting on the phone for 9.
Gotcha.
And dudes are like, yeah, no problem. It's all in jail. People, it's not like everybody is very respectful because nobody wants to do any more time for anything that happens in here. Yeah. Nobody really knows anybody else in their fucking deal and who the real animals are and that sort of thing. So I'm sitting on the phone for 9, sitting on the phone for 9, sitting on the phone for 9. 9 o'clock comes, I call. I hang up, I call back. Because, like, now that's the signal. They hook me up. They put me through the PA. It's like, "You have an incoming call from an inmate at Norfolk County House of Correction." And it's my voice, Colin Campbell. To pick up this call, press 1. Press 1 and come over. I'm like, "Woo!" I'm like, "Yo, yo, yo!" People are yelling, and I can
It has to be fucking insane.
Like, he put it on speaker so I could hear.
And okay.
Right, like the phone is on speaker so I can hear what's going on in the venue, and I'm like, "Yo, blah 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 blah," yada yada yada. And he's like, "All right, Mikey." And I was like, he's like, "What do you want to do?" And I'm like, "Slave driver." And Mikey says, "Scream it." I'm like, "Slave driver!" And now in jail, like the cord on the phone is it's only this long, so that way like nobody can use it as a weapon or something. So you have to face the wall and use the phone. So Maddie and a couple other guys are watching. Oh, everybody has jail nicknames. My jail nickname is Sex Pistol.
Sex Pistol?
Of course it is.
Because, dude, when somebody else calls me Sex Pistol from across the thing and you're new, you're like, "Oh, that guy's Sex Pistol? Why do they call him Sex?"
Okay.
Like, we're in jail and they're calling that guy Sex Pistol.
Gotcha.
Like, that's a sketchy-ass jail nickname.
Yeah.
Because, like, hood dudes who just give themselves a nickname like, "Yo, I'm C4 because I'm explosive."
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, you're not a G.I. Joe. Calm down. So, like, "Yo, Sex Pistol's on the mic." And I'm like, fucking doing Slave Driver. Like, "Rah, rah, 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 I won't miss this place. It sucks." He's like, "Well, so these 5 guys, everybody who's out in the yard, everybody who starts, because anything that's happening in jail that isn't routine is a spectacle. Everyone wants to watch it. So more guys in the yard come over. Everyone in the yard is now surrounding the phones watching this happen. Now guys from inside, it's a glass wall. They're all seeing the guys outside. They come through and they're watching. People are filing out the thing. And they're like, people are watching. Then the guards come. And I have no idea who's behind me. And I'm just fucking,
You feel them at all?
No. And I just knew that Maddie would have enough wherewithal when if guards tried to stop me, that he would let me know to hang up.
Yeah.
And so then we did Slow Dance. We did Save for the Judge. And I think we did one more. And I was like, "Yo, COA, I'm safe. I'm good. Write me. Throw $10 in my canteen. I'll see you soon."
Click.
Hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. I turn around. Every dude in the block is out there like, "Ah!" It's like a fucking scene from a movie. Fucking guards. Everyone's clapping. Guards are fucking clapping. Like, And it's like, and I fucking go back inside and just dip out. Now, another funny thing about that is like, a lot of guys think that they're rappers in jail, and like one dude will make a beat on the wall, you know, be like, right?
Yeah.
There's other dudes will rap, and then I'll just roll up and be like, they bleed us dry through oil and veins. I just like will rap some fucking COA lyrics at them. Like, oh shit, we got to get together when we get out of here. We're gonna make because I already have all these lyrics written. I know the songs, and they just think I'm making it up on the spot.
Right. Genius.
It's like, dude, you're prolific. So the next day, the heavy metal guard is behind there because, you know, he's a dude with a motorcycle. He's got sleeves and a weird beard. And he's all like, hey, everybody is in the office listening to that. It's pretty cool that you did that. And everybody, all guards think that's pretty cool. All guards are checking out your band and stuff, blah, 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 blah. He's like, you should talk to your lawyer and get the tapes. So we did. So we have the tapes. I don't know what's going to happen with them particularly, but
it's out there. It exists.
It
in there.
exists.
It's in there. It's not. It's not out there.
It's in there. You're right.
It's in there. It's in a hard drive on my desk right now.
It exists. And it's,
Maybe if you support COA enough, maybe
we
you'll
sell
earn
enough
it.
records.
You gotta earn just like so. Once upon a time, I was watching you play, and the whole country was getting Black Flag tattoos. The whole country was getting the bars. They were rampant. It was an epidemic.
Live, laugh, love.
And you made a statement. You said, "I see a lot of people getting the bars. I earned these bars." Much like he earned those bars, you got to earn those songs. So stay tuned, huh?
Yeah, stay tuned.
That stuck with me to this day.
Cool.
Wow. I don't think I've earned the bars yet. I ain't getting them.
Neither am I.
But
I got one. It's the last one's Massachusetts.
there it is.
What else you guys want to talk about? Want to do one more thing? What do we got? 10 minutes?
We got well, if they're, I don't know. What do you think?
round two.
Wait,
round two.
we didn't talk about fast food other than these cups.
Oh my God.
Colin, we got to ask you the golden question.
Okay.
We have a golden question.
COA's on tour, right? You're flying down the highway. You may be a little late for the show, but you see one of them magical signs with all the exits, all the fast foods on.
Okay.
What's making you go, boys, it doesn't matter, exit this right now? So you're in a mythical place where everything
either coast,
doesn't matter.
North, south, doesn't matter.
What is your number one fast food stop touring this country?
It's probably Taco Bell.
Yes.
Friends,
Strong.
the show.
Strong.
Incredible.
But more on, the band would always pay for one meal a day.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's great.
Like, we'll figure that out. You know, if we lose money, we'll figure that out. But we got to eat.
Everybody's got to eat.
And we would always go to Denny's because we know what we're going to get. And I get 3 cups of coffee. I get a cup of coffee, and then I get a cup of coffee with my meal,
and then
I get a cup of coffee after.
For dessert.
I get a nice couple nice cold glasses of water. And, like, it's always Denny's. It's always Denny's quality.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty... The brand is...
Always frozen, never fresh.
Always open.
But reliable, always open.
open.
It's an institution.
Yeah, dude, if we want fucking moons over Miami or a Tutti Frutti Fresh and Fruity breakfast...
You know where to go. So Denny's and Taco Bell, those are the COA.
Denny's.
We haven't had a Denny's yet. That's good, though.
The first Denny's.
Sam said Waffle House, which is close.
It's a great answer. But
hey,
no Waffle House before 11 p.m.
The thing about Waffle House is this. We want to go to the good Waffle House.
Well,
No, if you're in an area where they have Waffle House, you got to tell the locals, like, because you'll be like, oh, where's the nearest Waffle House? And they'll tell you, but you want to go to the good Waffle House. Like...
yeah.
Which is that's a unicorn.
And like they always say, "Oh, the good one is this one."
Yeah.
You know,
there's an answer.
The good one is not.
I've never seen the
fun
shit.
one. You know,
I've never seen like really crazy shit at Waffle House, but I definitely have seen a woman holding a baby and smoking a cigarette.
Oh yeah.
At a Waffle House.
Oh,
Classic.
no. We went to a Denny's one time outside of Denver, and we walked in, and there was just no one in the restaurant. Lights were on, burners were on, everything was on. No one was there. No one in the
Fuck off, I
bathroom.
quit.
Straight up.
pretty much.
Someone left.
That's how I do it too. If I'm quitting a job.
So it was a union town, brother. They're striking back. The workers are striking back.
Boulder's a big union town. for sure.
Colin, I think maybe we need to do this once a year.
Well, we could definitely do another one. This is the first time I've ever done it.
Well, you're a natural at it.
You
I
are.
had fun.
You need
I don't really
Order.
like. I don't know. Like I said, whenever I see dudes doing them, they're like pushing it or like have an uninteresting story to tell. And I don't want to be uninteresting, and I'm not here to push stuff. COA is going to have a single out sometime next year.
Yeah, but we
Final
want
boss.
we want to push Colin the man.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we loved having you on. This is objectively one of the greatest things we've ever gotten.
Well, you
to
just
do.
started doing it, so it's
Well, this is episode 32.
Is it?
33.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right. 33, Larry Bird, baby.
See,
If it's 32, Kevin McHale, you got that fucking elbow braid.
this is 33.
32 is
this,
also
this
Shaquille
is the
O'Neal.
Bird episode.
This is the Bird episode, greatest of all time.
Goat. Yeah.
Scottie Pippen was 33 also.
Yeah, but Larry Bird was 33.
Yeah.
So fuck off, Scottie Pippen.
Pippen was number
I mean,
2.
he'll beat me in one-on-one, but fuck off, Scottie
But
Pippen.
barely.
He also
You're in fucking Boston.
He doesn't tip. You know that? That's his reputation in Chicago.
Yeah, I've fucking seen him. He never goes to the rim. He doesn't tip it in.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was not his job on the Bulls. That's Horace Grant or Dennis Rodman. They're the one who tips it
That's
in.
right.
We also didn't talk about wrestling. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
so we're do another one.
we're
Right, yeah, let's do
locked
another
and loaded, brother. Colin, thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you very
coming
much for having me, guys. This is Folklore, brought to you by Manscaping.
on. You
what it's
goddamn
called?
right. Hard lore, folk and stories.
Hard lore, brought to you by
Yeah.
Yeah, manscaped.com.
I got a nice beard, manscaped.com.
We'll send you a package. Thank you so much for watching. This was the best episode ever. Bye. Wow.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you. Lovely. That was lovely.